18, which is a new district here in Clark County. It was moved down from the Reno area, and so this happened with reapportionment and the census. So the census is more people live in Las Vegas than northern Nevada. So this is the Senate district that was moved down to create a new district. With us today are two assemblymen, Scott Hammond and Richard McArthur, both trying to move to the Senate. And then we have Ms. Ross, and Kelli is actually the wife of City Councilman Steve Ross.
The better half.
And she is the much better half, I do know both. So with that, we would like each of you to, in 60 seconds, give us a little recap of your background experience.
You'll get a beep at 50 seconds, and I'll count down your last few seconds by fingers. Follow-ups, I'll tell you either 20 or 30 seconds, and we cut off panelist questions at 20 seconds as well.
And we'll start with Mr. Hammond.
Thank you. My name is Scott Hammond.
If you could use the microphone there.
You bet.
Yeah, it's for recording.
Yes, hello. My name is Scott Hammond. I currently represent Assembly District 13. I'm married for the last 20 years to my wife Tanya. We have 4 kids. Tomas 12, Olivia 6, Sophia 4, and then we just had another one 10 months ago. Her name is Isabella. I currently work for the school district. I've been, this is my 13th year working for the Clark County School District out in Indian Springs. I also work part-time at UNLV in the political science department. I served 1 term so far in the assembly, and have been blessed to be a coach during my tenure at the school. I've coached basketball, softball, I've coached soccer for the youth. My son I've also helped out from time to time in baseball. Very active in the community with the Boy Scouts. And that's about all I have for you right now.
Thank you. Mr. McArthur.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard McArthur, and I am running for Senate District 18. It's up in the northwest part of town here, and it is an open Senate seat. There's no incumbent. As far as my background, I grew up in a little town in Northern California, just outside of Sacramento. I have a degree in economics. After college, I joined the Air Force. I was an Air Force pilot for 6 years, and I was in Vietnam in 1968. After my military service, I joined the FBI. I was an FBI agent for 25 years. My last 15 years were here at the Las Vegas office. I've lived here for 32 years. My wife and I have 2 daughters. One graduated from UNLV, the other one graduated from UNR. We have 4 grandkids. I've been up in the assembly for the last 2 sessions and 2 special sessions, and I'm glad to be able to represent Senate District 18. Thank you. I hear the bell.
Ms. Ross, if you could.
We're sharing.
I'm Kelli Ross. I'm also running for Senate District 18. I'm pretty old, so I was born in Las Vegas, so I've been here for basically the last half century. 5 kids, 8 grandkids, 2 more on the way. Don't even ask me to tell you all their birthdays, because I don't even know. I decided to run for state senate after watching the legislature last session. Got a little frustrated, especially by the lack of partisan relationships that I watched up there didn't happen up there. Raised that you can't complain unless you're willing to step up and do the work. Background in politics, just been the wife of the candidate, very involved in the community, jumped off the stratosphere twice for Boy Scouts last week. A little crazy. I just think that it's time that we bring somebody down and get them up there just to do the right thing.
Okay, thank you. All right, now we'll start this time on the left-hand side as I look at you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Be brief. Hire a vet. What's right about that idea?
Mr. Hammond, Mr. McArthur, Ms. Ross.
Yeah.
I'll be brief. There's nothing wrong with hiring a vet.
Hiring a vet's a good idea.
I used to have electrical contracting business. I did hire the vets.
All right, so here's the follow on the backside of that question. A good percentage of the veterans coming back from the Middle East are functionally unemployable for service-connected disabilities. would you sponsor and support legislation to make it easier for those vets to start their own business?
Mr. Hammond.
Yes, I would. As I've told several people, I believe 2 years ago when I tried to explain to the panel here, if there's one thing that we as a nation owe to any citizens of this country, it's the citizens who have protected us through their service in the military. So if there's one thing that we should be providing, it's services to military personnel coming back from whichever campaign and whatever personnel we're talking about, man, woman, it doesn't matter. That's one thing that we should be doing above and beyond what we are currently providing is services, training, anything that would get them employed, housing, anything that helps with their lives as they put their lives on the line for us.
I think as an employer, you should hire the best people. If there's a tie, give it to the vet. As far as businesses starting, they should get the same opportunities as everyone else. I'm not sure what other things you can give a vet that's going to help them out getting a business started.
The thing we can do to help the vets is to make sure that we offer every opportunity to find out exactly what the problems are. What is it that we're facing when people come back from combat, when people are coming back from jobs that they left that they no longer have when they get through serving our country, because that's the most important thing that anybody that is involved in our country that we can be doing for them is to be able to give back to them for the service that you all have given to us. We need to open up all the doors and just to see what's the best way we can do what we can to help in every situation. That's not just the soldiers, that's their families.
Melody.
Clark County has a large homeless population. A large percentage of our homeless are veterans. What have you done in your community to assist our homeless veterans or veterans in general?
Let's start with Ms. Ross.
I have not done anything in particular for the homeless except for to be a part of giving back to the community as far as helping out in soup kitchens, helping out with the homeless. It's one of the things that we brought up our kids with is that they have been given opportunities that others don't have, and the best way to understand that is to give back and help out and serve the rest of the community in the same way.
Volunteer time.
We do.
Mr. McArthur.
Thank you. Nothing specific, although I did introduce a bill last time to help out veterans to give them a break on a couple of things in their taxes and that sort of thing. Other than that, I would hope with this new hospital we have coming in that it'll provide a transition from the veterans coming back so we will have less homeless. Thank you.
I'll reiterate what's been said, and that is a lot of volunteer hours. Through the Boy Scouts, my son included, we've done things to help out in areas where a lot of veterans will go through. I can't say specifically any particular vet. It's just that there happen to be certain areas where a lot of veterans end up going to soup kitchens and so forth. But the other thing is, lately I've been talking with a gentleman who actually is in the private business of trying to help out with healthcare concerns for those who are mentally impaired, having challenges in their life, and it tends to be a lot of those who are veterans coming back from service or have been around for a while. I like his approach because the private practice approach, he's actually making sure that they get enough treatment. And he also has apartments for these veterans to be in, so it's more long-term. They're not coming in, getting 4 or 5 weeks worth of help and then being shoved out the door.
Is that U.S. Vets?
No, he's not. It's not affiliated with U.S. Vets.
Mr. Brown.
Hi, I'd like for each of you to name 2 industries that the state should be targeting and trying to bring to the state, and why those 2.
Mr. Hammond.
Whatever particular.
There are 2 things that I think as a state we should be doing. That is, we should just be courting anybody in the energy industry. And I'm not saying that we should be offering some sort of incentive or anything like that. It should be open market. Who's going to compete in the open market for energy? But this is a state that is enriched in resources, renewable energies. Obviously, solar has a lot of reasons to come to this state. wind. There's a lot of things. I don't believe in subsidizing it, but I do believe that we should be courting them, having them come here, medical, but also we should be, if we want to grow the state right now, we should be talking about I-11. We need to get that interstate here because one of the things that we're missing out on is having a lot of goods and services coming through the state of Nevada. Southern Nevada especially, because we are a hub coming in from Mexico. There are a lot of goods and services that should be coming up here through Las Vegas. It should be a port, and I-11 will be a big help to that.
Mr. McArthur?
I think probably what we should be looking at is how do we get jobs here? I think we ought to cut taxes, cut regulations, get more business here, and that's what we should be doing. As far as anything particular, probably some of the tech industries, the IT stuff, because they don't need a lot of the infrastructure that you would have to put in for a lot of the other companies. So that would be a good first start, other than trying to support what is naturally we have here is the gaming industry. And let's get more business here because we're going to be more business friendly.
Mr. Ross?
A couple of things we need to be doing is not only the renewable energy, we have a lot of land that we can be making use of that we haven't been able to. We also need to be looking at the fact that as a hub, we need to make sure that we can be used as such. I'd like to see the train station be able to come back here so we can start doing deliveries like we used to. That's a very big one that we can be looking at. We already have the tracks. We can get that taken care of. We do have to create more jobs. The problem with renewable energy is that we get a lot of people working on the jobs, then once it's up, it doesn't take that much. So we need to be bringing more people to Nevada, Las Vegas especially. And in order to do that, we need to be looking at, we got to start thinking outside the box. There's a lot of other things that we can be doing besides the gaming industry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll need a steal time from the single candidate panel next if we want to do one more question.
One more question.
I have a question from Steve.
All right.
Actually. Microphone, please? Oh, I don't need a microphone. Steve Sanson asked me to ask Mr. Hammond why you didn't rewrite the Veterans Court bill when you said you would. I can't be any more specific than that. That's what Steve
Mr. Hammond?
asked me to ask you.
Time isn't up on that. We haven't even introduced the, we haven't started the session yet. That is one of the things that I think we will be doing in this next session. It was asked of me, would you be in favor of that? Last session, when there was two bills, one that I introduced on the stolen valor, that one went to the Senate, and then Elizabeth Halseth, Senator Halseth, introduced another one that came to the Assembly. In that Assembly meeting we had, her bill was completely gutted, and at the last second, unbeknownst to many of us legislators, there was language put in there about the court. Nobody really knew about it, and they took a real quick vote on that. Every Republican except for myself said that they were against that bill. Most of us didn't understand what it was about because they introduced it too late. I had a feeling that it was a really good bill, but we didn't have enough time to discuss it.
Well, Veterans Court is a law.
It is, but we're talking about mandating monies to go to the court and set it up, and that's funding it, and then that's what I'm actually in favor of doing that. But the session hasn't begun, and we still have time to go ahead and introduce
And so what's the status on that right now?
We haven't had a bill introduced in that yet, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Okay, thank you.
Is that just for me?
That was just for you. Apparently.
Put on the spot here.
Our time is kind of up unless someone has,
It goes with the line of
panel has a
work.
pressing question they need to ask.
I just want to ask one quick question.
Okay, Mr. Flower.
From the last election, there were some overseas ballots that didn't get out properly. What would you do legislatively to make sure that every single person from Nevada who's serving overseas in the armed forces gets their ballot to vote?
Here, here. Let's take a shot at that first.
Mr.
McArthur.
Ms. Ross.
Ross,
I can't give you an educated answer on that. I only heard about it, so I don't really know exactly what the problem was. But I know that they do have a time period that they can get the ballots out, and I don't know if that's maybe something we can even look at overdoing with an email process. I don't know.
I'm not sure either. You know, the process is in place, and they just didn't follow the rules. So unless you want the legislature, the people that put out Secretary of State and all those people now, unless you want us to strengthen those rules some way, That's fine with me. I'll do anything we can up there.
Being someone who served, I'll tell you what, we need to make sure that they send them out, not just electronically, but also a paper ballot to every single member who's overseas, and that information is accessible by the Pentagon. So that should be sent out so they have that paper, because a lot of times if you're in an off area in Afghanistan, in a base, you may not have access to a computer to be able to go online, so.
Time's up.
Right, I understand that. That's the process that they should be doing sooner and faster, and someone needs to make sure that does get done.
Mr. Hammond, do you have anything to add?
The only thing I would add is it is a Secretary of State issue because he's the one who makes sure that happens. I would suggest that we start the process earlier in order for that to happen, or to make sure we have deadlines so that when the deadline isn't met, we still have time to get it out. So make the deadline a little earlier, so the public knows if it is being done, if we're doing it by paper and so forth.
Can I educate the panelists for a second? The process as it is right now is the veteran has to ask for an absentee ballot, which puts the onus on the veteran, and then if they don't get it in time, then the Secretary of State goes, whoa. So
Running over time.
Thank you. I think you need to look at making it automatic on the part of the Secretary of State to know who those veterans are overseas and send them an absentee ballot without waiting for them to ask. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Amen, brother.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
This was our last state senate race, so we'll have a break and then we'll go to the regions. Now, I want to thank you all for inviting me to be the moderator, because I know that you know how tough this is. You had candidates here that said we need to cut taxes. We are the lowest tax state west of Mississippi. Cutting taxes will bring jobs, and we have the worst. We have all our eggs in one basket. Why aren't businesses moving here? And businesses do not move here, in my opinion, because of low taxes. Businesses move here because of educated workforces, and we do not have that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. That looks good. You guys have been sitting here all day, huh?
You guys, are we gonna do voting now?
Yeah, you remember
3 minutes ago. Oh, really? Excuse me.
I gotta get this up there or Karen's gonna kill me.
Take it easy, Scott.
Other with the exception of this one.
I-11? Was it I-11?
Interstate 11. It's the interstate that they're proposing to build from Phoenix through Las Vegas, and that's the one thing that we lack here. We're the two largest metropolitan areas that we lack any kind of connection with the interstate, and there are a lot of goods and services there.
The idea I had when I was running myself was they're looking at building a new airport out by Arkansas.
Really, it's good seeing you guys.
A free trade zone. With train, rail, all connected right there.
And that's one of the
And they
things.
did that Ross Road in Texas, and it created 200,000 jobs.
And that's what they're doing up in Reno also, because Reno, believe it or not, is actually closer Las Vegas. So they want to make that airport the same thing there. So now where do you want to go?
So they're going to do that to Reno
I mean,
Airport?
our state is going to be for commerce coming in and then going out to the rest of the west.
We can do both.
And I think that's we
But
really
a free
have to.
trade zone.
Yes, free trade zone is going to be free trade zones
But
here.
building that new airport, because it's already been in the works for 12 years now.
This is something that we got.
It's already approved by the Congress.
Right.
It would
I'm not
amaze us.
mistaken,
Some of these
Mr.
answers are
Jackson
so
has also
great.
been in favor of these free trade zones here in Las Vegas. So
Well, if they build one around the airport, they create 10,000 jobs to build a new facility along all the new development around the airport.
I don't doubt that.
We studied Ross Perot's development in Texas and how amazingly successful
Specifically.
economic development created.
and there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a lot
I don't want to change everything,
coming
but
up from Mexico. Mexico's also getting a lot of trade coming from all over the world.
And China too, because
Do you know, look,
China to us,
And we have to do
England,
much better.
and skip the Port Allen. I think they go to us.
Yeah, our relationship with China, our trade is going to has to get better. And there's so many people who trade with China to do much better job than
Imagine
us.
if you manufactured right in that free trade zone around Ivanpah, and you get the benefits of being in China, but being here without the shipping costs. That's the advantage.
And you know what? That's in the future. There's still a lot of things we can do right now, short term, to impact the entertainment industry and the gaming. We still have to do things that are
Don't make me use my grown-up voice.
And of course, we'll get a chance.
Can we get the panel members to please sit down? Thank you.
If we had more time to talk about that, besides the short little questions.
Sure, Bruno.
Good to see you again.
Yes. And I'm glad I got the call. And Steve is happy.
Okay. All right. We'll go a lot faster. Thanks, Bruno. Have a lovely day.
He didn't, I don't think he wrote it.
Thank you for coming.
Did you help Steve with the legislation?
Never. No. Like Travis Berry.
Did you people in the
Jim!
You're heading out too? Did you give somebody your votes?
I gave her all my votes.
Yeah, I'm Melody. To be honest with you, I wasn't aware that I needed to be writing the budget.
I didn't know either until she just asked.
So, and you and I were the ones who talked about it. So.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah. So.
Once we get started, you'll get a minute generally for your answers and introductions. So this will be